Thanks for joining us. I'm Felicia Sonmez, and here is today's Trail Mix. Well, with Newt Gingrich's exit from the race this week, all of Mitt Romney's former rivals for the GOP nod have left the race. All that is except for one, and that is Ron Paul, of course, the Republican congressman from Texas, who is remaining in the race until, he says, the Tampa convention this summer. So while Ron Paul has yet to win a single caucus or a primary, his supporters are still racking up some pretty big wins behind the scenes in recent weeks, and that brings us to today's number to know. That number is 72. It is the percentage of the vote that Mitt Romney won in this year's Massachusetts Republican primary. Now, why is that important? Well, it was Mitt Romney's biggest win so far this year. But when it comes down to it, Ron Paul may actually end up winning the majority of the delegates coming out of Massachusetts. Now, how is that possible? Well, the delegate selection process is pretty complicated and it varies from state to state. But in Massachusetts, for instance, the delegates were selected in a two-step process, and in one step of that process over the weekend, Ron Paul supporters actually outnumbered Mitt Romney supporters in the race. So that could end up having a big impact on this summer's convention. While all of the delegates from Massachusetts would have to end up voting for Mitt Romney according to the state rules, the Ron Paul delegates could still impact the national party platform as well as cast their ballot for somebody different on the VP vote. So that's just one of the many ways that Ron Paul supporters could have an influence. They are also racking up wins in other states, including Iowa, Minnesota, Louisiana. So stay tuned as those delegate counts start to come in from the rest of the states. And as always, tune in to us on Twitter for the latest from election 2012.